Hey, what's up guys? So in this video we are taking a look at few of the features, built-in features that come with WordPress. Now, by all means, if you are already aware of WordPress and have a few websites, then you can just go ahead and skip this video. It's not going to contain much value for the more advanced users, but if you're a beginner, then keep on watching this. I'm sure that you will learn something new out of this. So, when you go to the main WP-admin, you are greeted with the dashboard. Now on the dashboard, you have a few things that are from WordPress itself, and some other few things that comes from the plugin. And this basically gives you an overview of your website, right? So for that, this is pretty good. Then we have the update section that is still in the dashboard area, and in the update section you basically can just see all of the updates of your plugins, themes, and your WordPress installation. Now my website is 100% up to date, so I don't have any updates right now, so I'm gonna skip that. But this might not be the case for you, right? It could be a possibility that you have updates, so I highly recommend that you keep all of your plugins, themes, and even the WordPress installation up to date, because of the fact that it comes highly in relation with security. And when your plugins and themes are not updated, your site is more vulnerable to hackers. So make sure that your site is up to date 100% at all times. Now this Jetpack section here is basically from the Jetpack plugin. I'm gonna skip this. This X section is from the themes. Then we have the post section. Let's go into here. Now it's actually pretty simple. The post section has basically a section where they list all of your posts that are currently on the blog. Then you can add a new post. Then you have the categories, and then you have the tags. Now, what are the categories? Categories are basically, like the name says, categories which help you categorize your content, so that you have more control over it, right? More control over how it's displayed throughout your website. And then we have tags. Now, tags basically are, something that helps identify for the search engines that what sort of query should they rank your website for on search engines. Right now, let's say if you have a post that is related to fitness, and obviously you are not going to get ranked for the keyword fitness just yet, because of the fact that there are way more higher authority websites that have worked really hard on their blogs so that they can rank on that kind of keywords. But when you add tags to your posts, you basically are telling search engines that rank this post for these words, these keywords, right? So as you can see, now when you use Content Gorilla to create the content, you can just basically these tags, they automatically get added into your posts. So that's a plus for you, right? Now YouTube and Google search engine sort of work pretty similarly. One is for videos and one is for all sorts of content. But the video tags are converted into post tags here in WordPress, and they're added in so that search engines get to know better of what they should rank out of your blog. So this is something very important, right? Moving on, this portfolio sections, this comes from the X theme, so I'm going to skip this. The media section is basically where you will be able to access all of your media files. This includes images and even videos, GIFs, or really anything that you upload is going to be listed here. Even PDFs and stuff like that. You can obviously add new if you want, but it's really, besides the post thumbnails and post videos, etc., I don't really see a use of media library a lot, so that's that. Then we have pages, which are very much alike how posts work, besides the fact that pages are static and posts are dynamic. So the major difference between these is the fact that on posts you have tags. On posts people can comment. On posts the author name is displayed on the user's end as well, right? And the posts, they basically follow your website template, while pages have their own template, right? You can just go ahead and add a new page, and you can play around with the templates yourself and see how that works. But for now, I don't see a need to do that. So yeah. Then we have the comment section. So any comments that are added to your blog, no matter on which post, they will be displayed here. Then we have the appearance section. Now this is basically, this affects pretty much your website's appearance throughout. So firstly we have the theme. Obviously we have the X theme installed and activated, and this will display all of your themes that you already have installed. You can obviously add new from the WordPress library at any time. Then we have the customize section, which basically takes us to different end customizer of the theme. Then we have widgets. Now widgets are basically displayed on different locations, like the sidebar, the header, and the footer. Now of course I don't have a lot of widgets in these areas, but if you do want, you can just go ahead and play with this and see what looks good for your site. Then we have the menus, which is basically the navigation menu that we have on our site. On the top and on the bottom we have two different menus, as you saw me set up. So if you want to make changes or create a new menu, you can do that in here. Then we have the more technical stuff, the CSS, which I'm not gonna touch because even honestly I don't know how to customize the CSS and all that stuff. Then we have the sidebars, and I think this is a new feature because honestly even I haven't used this. Alright, I see. So I think that how this works is that you can basically add different sort of sidebars, and then you can select in your post and page setting which sidebar you want to display on that particular post or page, right? So this is something new because back when I last set up a blog, in 4 point some version of WordPress, there used to be a default sidebar for throughout the site. You could just basically either hide that or you could use that. So I see that now they have given you a feature of controlling the sidebar, so you can have multiple sidebars on your website on different places. So that's a good feature too. Then we have the theme editor, which basically again is the coding and stuff, so I'm not gonna go into that. Then we have the plugin sections. The install plugins section basically displays all of your plugins that you currently have on your site. Then we have the add new section, where you can look for new things to do with your site. The plugins are a massive asset to WordPress, and they are free in most of the cases. In 99% of the cases they are free, and you can do so much with plugins. I mean, if you want a contact form on your blog, you can add that using a contact form 7 plugin. If you want pop-ups, you can add pop-ups using different plugins, right? So there's the plugins, they just open a entirely different world for you. You can just customize so much stuff using plugins that I can not even detail that sort of stuff in here, right? So just to give you an overview, it's with plugins you can basically change your website as you want, right? Then we have the plugin editor, which basically is the coding and stuff again, so I'm gonna skip that. Then in the user section we have the users. which basically are, you can basically add more users if you want. If you have a team, by all means go ahead and add it. If you want, you can just open registrations for everyone on your site, and when that happens, what you could do is you could basically collect the emails and generate leads and all that stuff. So you can add new, and you can even change your own profile settings, but I'm gonna skip that over. Let's go into the tools section. Now this is basically, not something that you will be using very often, but mostly what you will be using this for is importing and exporting your content in and out of WordPress, right? So as you can see, we have a few tools. You have the blogger, which basically allows you to import posts, comments, and users from a blogger blog. Now there's a difference between a WordPress blog versus a blogger blog. Blogger is basically a Google service. So this allows you to bring that in from. So if you have a blogger blog, you can just basically bring your content into your site using this. And there are a few different things. I'm not gonna go into detail for all of these, but as you can see, these are very useful actually. And in the export, we also have a few good tools. Now you can basically export all of your content right out of here. So it will, as you can see, extract all of your posts, pages, comments, custom fields, terms, navigation menus, and even custom posts into an into an XML file, which you can then go and upload onto any other WordPress site. And as long as this site is active, it is going to copy and paste that onto that new site. So it saves you a lot of headache when you are trying to do backups and that sort of stuff. Then you have the settings section, which we have gone entirely over on the first or the second video of the course, so I'm not gonna go over that again. If you do want to, you can just go back and watch the previous video. So yeah, these are pretty much the basic features that WordPress contains, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.